Are you looking for a queer therapist to process your trauma with? My name is Moriah Conant, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am a trauma therapist at Woven Together Trauma Therapy. Some of my specialties are LGBTQ identity development, identity integration, chronic mental illnesses, sexual assault and abuse, cult recovery and religious trauma, complex trauma and PTSD, and trauma from mental health practitioners and facilities. I work with a lot of clients who have multiple marginalized identities, and for many of us who have marginalized identities, we've faced trauma or discrimination around those identities. So the way that we've learned how to cope with that, to keep ourselves safe, is to compartmentalize those identities so that we can show up in spaces and protect ourselves. Unfortunately, this makes it really hard to integrate your identities and to show up as your whole self, even when you're in safe environments. I work from a primarily relational approach, which means that I am showing up as an authentic person in our work together, and you're also showing up as an authentic person. And the work that we do in therapy is co-created in the relationship that we have. And this work is very collaborative based on what you need, and being able to incorporate different trauma modalities like EMDR, ketamine-assisted psychotherapy, and talk therapy to best meet your needs and what you need to work through. When I think about compartmentalization of our identities that many of us do in order to keep ourselves safe, I like to think of the analogy of having shoeboxes in a closet. So if we've faced discrimination or trauma around our identities, we've learned to compartmentalize those things. So that might be putting away your queer identity so that you can show up at church and still be safe and still be accepted in that space. But when we compartmentalize those identities, we're putting away these identities, these boxes in the closet. One of the things that we can do through therapy is to pull out those boxes one at a time and start to process through our experiences, process through the trauma that we've gone through, and what we want our relationship with that identity to look like. Who do you want to be as a queer person? How do you want your queer identities and your spirituality to intersect? What are the identities that are important to you, and how do you want to incorporate them in your life? Therapy and relational work can create a space for you to take those identities out and start to integrate them in the way that you value and the way that you want to work. So if you're interested in this type of work, you might be a good fit for me. I am currently seeing individual clients in the state of California, and I also do some group work. I utilize talk therapy, EMDR, and ketamine-assisted psychotherapy with clients.